Alright, so today I'm back with another Blue Lock leak video, and today we will go over chapter 318, which is a bit more of a chill one, but still very hype, as we get some insight into their upcoming tactics to crush Nigeria even harder. But I don't want to say too much, so you will just have to sit back and watch to find out what happens. Anyway, before jumping into it, please leave a like and a comment, and with that out of the way, let's get into it. Also, if you want to check out the leaks for yourself, then I will put a link down in the comments where you can look at them. Alright, so starting off this chapter, we get to the commentators who are absolutely ecstatic. They scream out, saying that Japan is so insanely strong, and they even admit that they are overwhelming Nigeria on both offense and defense, before saying that it's the end of the first half, and that Blue Lock leads with a 2-goal lead thanks to the GOAT Gagamaru. We then get into the changing rooms, where we see Reichi being super hyped as he just screams, and we also see Nanasi, who legitimately jumps into the air and compliments Gagamaru on his insane save. Not to mention that we finally see the Shark Boy Corona, who tells them that they are looking good so far. We also see Fukaku dapping up Gagamaru, who I thought was really wholesome. Anyway, we then get to Aiku, who tells both Aryu and Nico that it's looking good, but that they are pushing forward a bit too much, explaining that in the second half, they should keep the defensive line a little more careful. Nico looks back and says that he's got it, but that he will go in strong on every ball challenge. Aryu says that he will also do that, and that he is fully ready to go all in on one-on-ones. After that, we leave them and get to Karasu, who says that they could probably have scored another one already. He tells Princess and Ice Lord, who are of course Chigiri and Hiyori, that they are focusing a bit too much on crosses, telling them to go for the goal. Chigiri just tells him to shut it and calls him a bird as he tells Karasu to just watch in the second half. Hiyori agrees and says that it's called Blue Lock after all. We then get to Henri, who is looking at everyone closely. She says that everyone's still not getting overconfident, exchanging thoughts, and aligning their intentions about what's ahead. She thinks that in Blue Lock, they are all growing at an incredible pace before saying that they absolutely can't afford to lose this opening match. We then leave her and go over to the poster boy, Isagi, who says that if they just win like this, then it won't mean anything. He tells them to do what they can, but that just winning won't help them grow. He looks extremely focused and says that they should try something in the second half. Both Karasu and Bachira look at him a bit lost and say that they are on board, but ask him what they are going to do. Isagi explains that they have practiced it a bit to set up a top player and then have the second and third lines go for goals, explaining that if it works, then they will have more attacking variations. We then move to Aiku, who says that he definitely thinks securing a win also gives experience in closing out a match. He says that there's some risk though, but that also trying it seems interesting. Isagi looks at him and tells him that they should just do both, and that they should try something new while still playing to secure all 3 points. Aiku laughs and says that he really says it and calls him an egoist. Nico then adds in and explains that it's easier said than done, telling Isagi that if they are going to experiment with the attack, they also have to adjust their defense accordingly. Isagi, without any hesitation, just says that they should do that as well, and that he will propose it to Ego, while Karasu just tells him that he can't do that. After that, we finally see some more of Rin, who says that just winning doesn't feel good enough. Besides, he hasn't even scored yet. Rin asks Isagi if he really thinks that he is just going to play nice and have it end like this. He then looks furious, as he says that he will break it apart in a whole new way. Isagi looks back at him and just smirks as he says, "Alright." Aiku just adds in, as he calls Rin selfish as always. Just then, as they are discussing, the real GOAT walks in, and that's of course Ego, who says that it's fine, telling them that here, maintaining balance doesn't just mean defending. He explains that this is their philosophy, and that everyone must keep aiming for the goal and use every single minute and second for their own evolution, simply calling it Blue Lock. After that, he looks at all of them and says that he will now announce the strategy for the second half. Hey, it's Natsu mid-editing here, and I just wanted to pause the video to ask you to subscribe if you haven't already, and while you're already down there, why not leave a like as well? However, just then, we get to the Nigerian changing room, where we see all of them looking super depressed. Oboabona says that they are going to lose if things keep going like this. Bello agrees but asks what they should do for the second half, and then some random guy asks their coach for his opinions. We then see the coach and learn that his name is Ganbari. He says that it's unbelievable, and that Blue Lock creates the starting points for both attack and defense. On top of that, they have the ability to also go for goals, and he calls this very tough. Ganbari says that what they have been doing, the same thing, doesn't work. After that, we get to Onazi, who has his towel over his head and says that this is the first time he has faced something like this. He calls it insane and realizes that this is the world. However, after that, he looks up and has the biggest smile on his face as he says that Blue Lock is so cool. Onatsi then looks super hyped up as he tells their coach and everyone that Blue Lock is strong, and he asks them what they think makes Japan strong. Bello says that they have a lot of attacking patterns, and Oboabona adds in that each and every one of them is aiming for the goal. Onatsi then tells them that they are spot on, and that everyone and every single one of them is living for their own goal. After that, we get back to Ego, who asks all of them why people want to win. He asks them if they have ever thought about it. Bachira asks if it isn't just because it feels good. Ego then asks him why they feel as if it feels good. However, we then get over to Isagi, who has a bit of a better answer, as he asks if it isn't the proof that you're immediately superior to others. Ego then tells them that it's because that instinct is engraved in their genes, telling them that an individual, by nature, can't survive unless it's superior to others, explaining that when it's hungry, it becomes stronger, and the chances of leaving offspring increase, simply calling it the raw and exposed truth about the survival instinct. Ego looks intense as he says that Blue Lock exists to create the strongest individual in the world. After that, we get back to Onatsi, who says that he wants to win against Blue Lock, telling them all to fight like they do in Blue Lock. His teammates ask if he means that they should aim for their own goals and ask what will happen as they are weaker than them. Onatsi, however, tells them that it doesn't matter and to just do it, telling them all to at least give it a try. He asks their coach if that isn't okay, as even if he gathers the ball to himself, they are just going to lose anyway. The coach just tells him that if he says so, and Onatsi then asks his team if they should take on a challenge to win. After that, we get back to Blue Lock and more importantly, Ego, who tells them that if everyone lived solely by the instincts of wanting to win or proving their own superiority, conflict, discrimination, and war would constantly arise, explaining that it's how humans work. And in order not to become like that, they have developed social systems like norms and laws and have evolved to treat life as equally as possible. Ego continues as he tells them that even if you don't wish to win, you can survive in a lukewarm world, and that people call that peace. But so that you don't disappear in this lukewarm world, the true desire that exists inside them. That's why he keeps appealing to the instinct to want to win. After that, he calls them raw gems who wish for victory and want to win. He tells them that he will grant them a new equation and to consider it their experimental apparatus, continuing as he says that the Blue Lock drags everyone involved out of peace and exposes their instincts and desires. And that firstly just sounds so insanely cool, like that's wild. Anyway, after that, the Nigerian team tells themselves, "Let's go," and we see Isagi starting the kickoff, while the text asks if football can really captivate people this much, and asks if we have ever known that before. Currently, there is no information if there will be some sort of break or not, or even what the next chapter will be called, so I guess that we will just have to wait for that. Anyway, this chapter has been amazing. Of course, I enjoy the chapters where they make those awesome plays and goals like a bunch. However, something about seeing them happy and celebrating just makes me so happy. And it's also super interesting listening in and hearing what their thoughts about tactics are. Not to mention that every chapter that we get to see both Henri and Ego is just such a great chapter, as they don't get that much screen time, so when they do, it feels special in some way. Also, I found it super interesting and super Isagi-like that he wants to try out new things in the literal U20 World Cup. Like the group stage matches are super important. However, Isagi knows that they have to try things out in order to improve. It just always amazes me how focused he could be, because it doesn't seem like any of them feel any sort of pressure at all. They are just all arguing about who will score the next goal, which is kind of funny. Also, I have to give Karasu some credit, as he even admitted that they could have gone for another goal and told Chigiri and Hiyori to go more towards the goal. Now, Chigiri going for the goal is always a plus for me, so I can't wait to see what he pulls out in this second half. Anyway, this is just a small review, as I will make a better one when the real chapter comes out so that all of the texts and stuff are correct. However, let me know what you thought about today's leaks and if you liked them or not. Anyway, if you like Blue Lock and videos like this, then I would highly suggest you subscribe to this channel, and while you are at it, leave a comment and a like, as it helps out with the algorithm a ton. And if you are curious to see another video of mine, then please watch the video that will be popping up on the screen now. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.